All right, welcome back to another explainer. Today we are diving into something truly mind-bending. We're talking about the absolute intersection of ancient Indian astronomy and non-dualistic philosophy. We're going to explore this monumental spiritual treatise known as the Yoga Vasishta. It's this incredible, epic work that chronicles the self-realization of a young Prince Rama, and it basically argues that the entire material universe is, well, it's just a projection of divine consciousness. So here's our roadmap through this massive 32,000-verse landscape. We'll start with the ancient Indian cosmos, then look at Prince Rama's existential crisis, move into the universe's mind, explore stories within stories, and finally map out the path to liberation.
Part 1. The Ancient Indian Cosmos, a Universe Without Limits. You see, before we can truly understand the depths of the mind, we gotta wrap our heads around the staggering scale of the cosmos, exactly as these ancient thinkers saw it. Let me ask you a question right off the bat to kind of challenge your perception. Where is the true center of the universe? We usually think about the Earth, right? Or maybe the sun. But does the universe actually have a center at all? This was a huge cosmological mystery that ancient minds tackled head-on.
And there is a fascinating divide in early cosmological thinking here. While early Western thought notoriously fought, and had fierce theological battles over whether the Earth or the sun was the center of everything, ancient Vedic texts looked at space entirely differently. They saw the cosmos as this infinite, boundless entity, no absolute center at all, just endless space, with consciousness itself acting as the fundamental fabric of reality.
And here's the crazy part. They weren't just guessing. They had the math to back it up. Take the 5th century mathematician Aryabhata, for example. His astronomical calculations were incredibly accurate. We're talking about calculating the Earth's rotation, a year of exactly 365 days and 6 hours, and even heliocentric motion. It's a real intellectual foundation that proves they had a highly advanced grasp of physical reality way before the modern era.
Which brings us to part 2, Prince Rama's existential crisis, a hero's despair. Let's shift to our narrative anchor and see how this grand, infinite cosmos deeply affected a young prince who was destined for greatness. This text we're talking about, the Yoga Vasishta, is a monumental spiritual treatise of non-dualistic philosophy attributed to the poet Valmiki, and it chronicles the intense, basically crippling, existential apathy of a 15-year-old Prince Rama. After realizing the impermanence of worldly achievements in such a vast, endless universe, he just falls into this profound despair. And so he seeks the guidance of the great sage Vasishta. To help cure Rama's depression, sage Vasishta systematically guides him through what is essentially a multi-volume masterpiece. The structure here is beautiful. It starts with Book 1 on detachment, moves through the aspirant's longing, into creation, existence, dissolution, and finally culminates in Book 6 on liberation. It's this epic dialogue that lasts for 22 days, all designed to fundamentally alter how Rama, and honestly, how we, perceive reality. Part 3. The Universe as Mind, Reality as a Projection. So, how exactly does Sage Vasishta answer Rama's despair? How do you find meaning in an infinite, overwhelming cosmos? Well, you realize it's all in the mind. Vasishta teaches non-dualistic or Advaita philosophy. The core concept is pretty radical. The material universe is not a separate physical existence. Instead, it's merely a reflection or a projection of divine consciousness. Think of it like a grand matrix-style simulation. What we perceive as solid reality, the mountains, the cities, even our own physical bodies, it's actually just a projection of the mind. Just listen to this incredibly powerful quote from the text. Sage Vasishta describes the universe like innumerable bubbles floating on the waters of the unlimited ocean of the sphere of consciousness. Just think about that. It is absolutely wild to marvel at how he describes infinite worlds popping in and out of a cosmic vacuum, exactly like bubbles. Entire galaxies, literally just fleeting thoughts in a universal mind. Now, realizing this doesn't mean you just throw your hands up and quit life. Not at all. It leads to the ultimate goal, becoming a jiva mukta. This basically means being a person who is liberated while still living right here in a physical body. Liberation doesn't mean leaving the world. It means waking up while still playing your part in the simulation. So you fulfill your duties, like Prince Rama ruling his kingdom, but you do it completely unattached because deep down, it's a projection. Look at the stark contrast between these two states of being. You've got the ignorant mind, which is restless, totally driven by desires, constantly trapped in illusions, right? Always chasing a mirage.
But then you have the liberated mind. This mind is calm, dispassionate, and quiet, like an empty sky. Because it recognizes the illusion, it can navigate all of life's chaos with perfect, unshakable stillness.
Moving on to part 4, stories within stories, the inception of ancient India. To make these dense, super abstract concepts relatable to a young guy like Rama, Vasishta uses this really fascinating teaching tool, a complex structure of stories nested within stories. And let me tell you, these stories are totally mind-bending. Take the parable of Queen Leela. When her husband, King Padma, dies, she uses astral projection and time travel to actually enter his deceased mind. And inside his mind, she discovers an entirely new, fully functioning reality where he's currently ruling as King Vidaratha, fighting these vast wars. She realizes that entire sprawling empires exist purely within the deceased king's imagination. Then there's the super fast-paced story of Gaudi the Brahmin. Get this. He momentarily loses consciousness, and within that split second, he lives an entire daydreamed lifetime as a tribal king. And his dream felt so incredibly real that when he woke up, he actually traveled to the locations from his dream and found physical evidence of his reign. He had to go and verify it 3 separate times before the god Vishnu finally confirmed that, yeah, the entire physical kingdom he found was actually still just a projection of his own mind. But I think this concept really peaks with the awe-inspiring story of Bhushunda the crow. This is an ancient, self-realized bird who remembers times before the sun even existed. From his nest on Mount Meru, he survives countless cosmic floods and the literal dissolution of the universe. How? Simply by using the sheer power of his meditation to suspend his breath and merge with the infinite vacuum, just waiting for the universe to be dreamed up all over again. Take a second to really let that sink in. Are we all just living inside a shared, waking dream? I mean, if a fleeting thought can create a kingdom and a crow cannot live the universe, it forces us to deeply reflect on our own reality. What if everything around you right now, this very moment, is just the projection of a shared consciousness? And that brings us to part 5, the path to liberation, waking up. Look, just like Rama, we all face those moments of existential dread. But the Yoga Vasishta doesn't just leave you hanging in the void. It tells you exactly how you can wake up. It actually starts with the mechanics of your body and mind, weaving together Patanjali's Yoga Sutras and Vasishta's heavy emphasis on prana, which is your vital energy. The text outlines how to mechanically quiet the mind. By practicing Ashtanga Yoga, and specifically pranayama, or breath restraint, you can literally, physically stop the restless fluctuations of your mind. The idea is, if the mind's vibration is the universe, then stilling your breath stills your mind and effectively stops the illusion. From there, Vasishta walks Rama through this incredibly structured, 7-step systematic path to enlightenment. It starts out super simply, with goodwill, just having the desire to learn. Then it moves through discretion, purity of mind, self-reliance, and worldly apathy. By the time you hit the 6th step, abstraction, you are pulling away from the physical world entirely. And the final step is Turyagati, ultimate unity, where you finally see all things as a single, indivisible whole. Now, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that there is no fatalism in this philosophy. None. Sage Vasishta is adamant. He says only their own efforts are of use for the enlightenment of their soul. Basically, you can't rely on fate or karma or even gurus to do the heavy lifting for you. You have complete power to rewrite your reality through intense personal effort, study, and reason. Which leaves us with one final profound thought. If the universe really is merely a projection of your mind, and you have the power to shape it through your own focused effort, what reality will you choose to project tomorrow? Thank you so much for exploring the Yoga Vasishta with me today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.